Good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew with Yes, it's your girl Germaine, and we're back again for another coffee and conversation. How's everybody out there doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm doing good. No complaints. Life is what life is going to be, is what you make of it, though, right? Exactly. So, all is good. I have my coffee this morning. Okay. I've been trying to work out my new morning brew with Germaine over on Instagram, setting it up live over there as well. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm still having trouble with it. So we're going to figure that out later. But if you are chiming in today, come on in so we could talk about it. This is Black History Month, which every month for me is Black History Month. And so we cannot be reduced to a 28-day, the shortest month of the year. We cannot be reduced to that. We have too much contributions that we have brought to this planet. So if you are chiming in today, let me know where you're chiming in from and what you're drinking. I have my hazelnut coffee this morning. It always helps. It does. But you know me, don't want to try to hold you long, but I do appreciate you showing up for a quick coffee break or whatever it is you may be drinking. You don't have to necessarily be a coffee drinker, right? But glad you decided to just spend a few minutes with me on Morning Brew. So let's get into today's brew topic. All right. Black stories are not just history, they're strategy. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk all about it, and you're going to have a place where you can participate also with our thought questions. Okay. So, but let's get into this. The power of Black stories is not only in remembering the past, but in shaping the future with intention. Listen, we are too powerful of a people to be reduced to something smaller than who we really are. Always keep that in mind. So we have a lot that we have contributed. I just saw that Gladys West, who invented the GPS, just passed away. So all honor to her for her major contribution, because we don't even think about who invented it, but we use GPS systems all the time to navigate through life, right? So, um, when I think about who we are as a people, we got a lot with us. We are a fascinating, magnificent, I tell you, race of people, just amazing and awesome. Our minds, our creations, our inventions. We have contributed so much. Don't let anyone lie to you and tell you we haven't. And ask yourself the question, why do they try so hard to eliminate us? Because we've already created so much. Now they could take credit for it, right? Yeah. But, well, let's get into this. Let's talk about, once again, Black stories are not just history, they're strategy. So, for generations, Black stories were passed down to survive, to teach, and protect. Today, those same stories are tools for clarity, ownership, and legacy. So, when we choose to steward them, well, so think about it. When we think about the power of one story, and that's really the underbelly of this platform, the power in our stories. But when we think about the legacy that has been left with the power of our stories, it is amazing that even today, things that happened generations ago, that we're still able to live in those legacies. So, don't despise small beginnings. What story are you creating? What great story are you creating that you can leave for years to come? All right. So, let's get into our segment where we begin to pour into purpose. All right. Oh, that's the wrong one. So, hey, yes. Well, while we're here, let me just say this. While we're here, I want you to take a few moments. I'm going to put up, it's actually scrolling across the bottom, but I want you to join our new school, SKOOL, our new school community. I've been looking for a place in a space, and I'm sorry, I'm just kind of, since it popped up on the screen, hey, it must be purposeful. But I wanted to just let me just talk about this a few minutes before we go into pouring into purpose. You know, it's real nice to belong and I think as a people we have a sense of wanting to belong, to be a part of something, right? Um and so Morning Brew, it's definitely family oriented. It stems from Hope of Vision Publishing is my publishing company. And the one thing I have going, this is my 18th year. Literally, I just have a passion and a desire to really hear people's stories and to help them see their stories bigger than what they are, right? Which I believe it just ties into purpose. That's why our theme is pour into purpose. Pour into purpose. So, with that, what was birthed out of that was Morning Brew with Germaine. That gives us an opportunity. Good morning, Kathleen S. Queen QRN. This is Coach Kathleen. Thank you for joining us over on Instagram. Just really giving the heartfelt um, background of why a sense of belonging and community is so important, and why we finally found a home here at Morning Brew, HOV Publishing. We finally found a home, a partner company in school that we can take the opportunity to be able to allow people to come together in a space, one space. We have so many different platforms that we have to manage and monitor, so many different platforms. So the whole entire time, and we are coming up on a year in May being consistent, yes, consistent on Morning Brew, but really wanting to be able to find the right space, the right home that we can bring community together. And so, um, my team, they sent me someone else's community. And I joined their community and I started doing some research to see, oh, you know what, this could be a perfect fit for Morning Brew. And for us to really be able to talk about the power of one's stories and have community be involved in a conversation. So here we are. We actually joined and partnered with school. So I'm going to put this in the actual comments. Good morning, Sharon Johnson Myers. Yes, another one of my authors who's a part of the HOV Publishing family, and I got to get her on Morning Brew. So that is coming soon for Authors Brew Friday. But let me put this up. I want to put this out there, how you can join our school community. It's free. It's free to join, but really want all your voices, especially those that are a part of the HOV Publishing family. This is a place for you to be able to share your stories, talk about your book projects, find out more tools and resources that you're going to need in order to be able to turn those stories into revenue streams, multiple revenue streams. So much is going on, right? And I don't want to overwhelm you, but it's a space that we can just, sit back, grab something to drink, and enjoy the conversation. So if you can, click the link. Click the link. Let me put it over on Instagram. Also, let me share it over there. All right. Hold on. Okay. So I just shared it on Instagram too, for you to be able to just click the link. Do me a favor, guys. If you can, click the link right now. Click the link right now and sign up to be a part of Morning Brew with Germaine school community. I promise you, you will not regret it. You won't. So, okay, I wanted to take that little moment to just talk about why community is so important. Listen, I can't do all this by myself. I need you, your stories. Um, I need you to really move and operate in my purpose. Yeah, listen, we are all puzzle pieces that connect together. So when you find those pieces that connect, perfect fits, then you know what? You want to be able to hold on to them. You want to be able to also see how can we build and grow together. And that's exactly what we're doing with community, building and growing together. So I encourage you, just click the link. Please go over, join us, and let's get the conversation extended beyond the live, okay? Monday through Friday. All right, guys. So let's pull that down. And now let's go into our pour into purpose. Fair enough? Okay. Thank you for giving me the space to even talk about that a little more in detail. All right. So let's get into our pour into purpose. And what I want to say is our stories carried us through. So, yes, we're still talking about Black stories are not just history, they're strategy. All right. So, our stories carried us through. Stories preserve truth when systems denied it. And you know what? The things I'm saying now, you could just think about what we're dealing with present day that we've been dealing with for years. Okay. It's like, wow, things haven't really changed. What's going on with that? All right. So, they taught values, resilience, and identity. Yeah, these are our stories. They connected generations long before platforms existed. Yes. I think the core of everything we do stems from one story, someone's story. When we even think about our lives, how many stories are we living through that belong to somebody else that have empowered us, that have given us insight, directions, you know? Yeah, they're all around us. Stories. Our stories still hold power. So, lived experiences carried insight, not textbooks. No textbooks can replace our lived experiences. Your stories contain lessons others need right now. Keep that in mind. So, when you're running from writing your story, because I know you are. I know you're out there and you have been procrastinating for years on top of years, and people are waiting on that story. You just you have not found the right connection, the right partnership to help you be able to come together and birth that story out. So, hey, if you're here on Morning Brew, look no further. You just need to on stop by our website, okay? Let me put that up on the screen while we're talking about the Power of One stories. And if you may need a partner, if you may need a partner to team up with you to help you birth out your story, then look no further. Just stop by hovpub.com and yes, come see me, right? Come see me. But that's another reason why community is so important is because you never know, you may find the very thing you're looking for being a part of a community that's bigger than you. And that's what you're going to find when you join Morning Brew with Germaine. You're going to find our bite-sized learning, being able to learn different things that you need along your journey to be able to see, what can I do now that I have this story? What can I do with it? There's a lot you can do with one story. One story. There's a lot of different lanes and streams and avenues that you can take that one story down. But you got to be a part of the community. Come on. Make sure you stop by. Stop by and join us. Okay. All right. So, ownership ensures, ownership ensures stories don't disappear or get rewritten. That has been one of our biggest problems, I think. I think we've created so much. We have created so much as a people. The only issue is that it's always being taken from us. The ownership of it is always being co-opted by someone else. It's being stolen from us. It's being taken from us so they can change the narrative of it, maybe. So they can make it theirs and not authentically ours. Think about it. Ownership of one story is so important, and that's exactly what we do at HOV Publishing. We make sure you own your intellectual property. You created it. God gave it to you. You lived it. You have the experiences. It's yours. You own it. Okay? All right. So, let's get into this last pour into purpose segment. Our stories deserves intention. Storytelling without structure leads to loss. And a lot of us, we just have stories, but there's no structure that goes along with it. We just have stories that we just have. but what do you want to do with that story? Okay. All right. Community helps stories grow responsibly. Did you hear the word community? Community helps stories grow responsibly. And ownership ensures stories don't disappear. That is such an important factor that I probably just had to reiterate again. Ownership, ownership, that they don't disappear or get rewritten. Okay. All right, guys. So this is a time that everyone can take part in. Not that. Let me get rid of that. This is the time, our reflection question. This is important. Our reflection questions. These are for you. These are for me. This is where you can sit and really reflect on these questions along your day, throughout your week. Hey, and when you're ready, you answer the questions, okay? So, what part of your story has shaped how you move today? Now, you got to sit and do some thinking, okay? You got to start thinking about your story. What part of your story have shaped how you move today? That requires journeying back through your life, maybe, to see what has shaped your story. All right, question number two. How might your story serve not just you, but others? Hmm. That is a selfless question. How might your story not just serve you, but others? These are for you to think about. Listen, I can't answer these questions for you. Only you can. So these are for you to think about. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So we're about to bring this to a close in our final sip. Let's take this final sip together and let's see what is it leaving for you today. So, Black stories are not just memories or where we've been. Mm-mm. Boy, we are so much bigger than that, our stories, right? They are blueprints for where we're going. It's been a roadmap, it's been navigation. Like I said, we just lost Gladys West, who created the GPS system, a Black woman. I believe she was 95 years old, and we just lost her not too long ago. And so, think about what went into that, her mind to be able to map out the logistics globally, global positioning system. Let me tell you, we some bad people. I tell you, I love our people. I love our people because we are just, when we put our mind to something and we really use our mind, there is nothing that can stop us. I always say, they could try to strip us, we could have nothing, but we will find a way. We will always find a way. We will use primitive things to make something happen and work. I mean, just genius. Yeah, look at yourself as that. Just genius. Right? All right. So, you know how we do. So, in a moment, let's take a pause and let's honor the story you carry. Yeah, make it about you today. Also, I really want you to think about your story. What is that story? What is that story? And if we go back to the reflection questions before we wrap it up, how might your story serve not just you, but others? So you got to ask yourself the why first. Why and what? Why my story and what is the story? I'm going to leave that with you. And I want you to choose to steward it with purpose. Fair enough? All right, guys. Oh my gosh. I love when y'all stop by and just join me in community. Thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you for your feedback. And like I said, make sure you go into, let me put this on the screen. Make sure you go join Morning Brew Community over at school.com/Morning Brew with Germaine. It's free to join. Come in, be a part of the community, be a part of the extended conversation. You never know what you may discover there. You never know who you may discover there. So, you know what? Chime in. We just launched it yesterday. So, yes, I am building and looking for all you to be a part of it. But you never know who you may meet. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Be safe. And you know what? Come back tomorrow from Explain Wednesday. You never know who might be in the studio. I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed and be safe out there, okay? And happy Black History Month, which is every month. See you tomorrow. Bye.